Hi. My name is Mr. Waldron. I'm the sociology teacher here at Prendergast. I also teach politics as well. If you have been in the politics Q&A with Mr. Owen, or if you're going to go to that later. So I'm just going to talk to you a bit about sociology as a subject, what it is, what the course will involve, what sort of skills it gives you, how students have been finding it, and then I'll have time to answer any questions if you want to type them into the Q&A function on the side, and I can answer those questions at the end. So I'll just pop the slides back up for you, so you should be seeing them now. So sociology, if you haven't studied it before, it is essentially the study of society, social interaction, social roles. I often think of it as a subject that is very focused on where power lies, why society is structured in the way it is, how subcultures are formed, and you might look at those through institutions that are quite familiar to us, such as the family, education, or religion, or the media, or whatever it might be. I also think of it as a way of taking things that are very familiar to us and kind of analysing them deeply and viewing them with a sociological lens. So I put these stats back up on the board for us. So, for example, look at the top left. We've got, for every woman in prison in the UK, there are 24 men. So women make up about 4% of the prison population. So huge difference. If we look at the top right, people from middle-class backgrounds live longer on average than those from working-class backgrounds. If you look right down at the bottom, you've got women still get paid on average about 20% less than men. So these are things, you know, we're aware of the prison system, we're sort of aware of social class, the pay gap, stop and search on the board as well, all these things. The sociology is about explaining, so why do those things happen? What has happened in society that means that these things exist? And also, what are different perspectives on these issues? So we'll look at, you know, Marxism, feminism, lots of different perspectives that might have a certain take on why these kind of things happen. So there's another quote on the board for you from a French sociologist called Pierre Bourdieu. So the function of sociology, as of every science, is to reveal that which is hidden. So yeah, it's all about kind of uncovering those truths or thinking about issues that might be familiar to us in a much deeper way. So studying sociology, so in terms of the actual A-level, obviously you can sort of see from those first couple of slides, it's a lot to do with discussing social issues in a more informed, more analytical way. And I think it definitely helps you to develop you know, you view the world with a sociological lens. I like to think that a student, when they leave the room, they'll still be looking at, you know, shows they watch, things they read, discussions they have, thinking sociologically. It also kind of helps you make sense of your own experiences in life, other people's as well, thinking about things from that structural viewpoint. And it obviously also very much helps you put together coherent arguments, both in your essay writing, so it's very much an essay-based subject, and also in debates as well. So in terms of subjects it works really well with, I put those on the board on that last line there. So of a humanities subject, so politics, history, RS, geography, there'll be lots of overlap with those subjects. It also works really well with English, in terms of there's sort of some content overlap. In terms of, in English, you look at sort of feminist views as well, and also in terms of constructing arguments and writing as well. So in terms of the course, sociological theory and perspective sort of runs across it. So it's a lot to do with sort of debates between, say, for example, feminism and Marxism. Social research, research methods are a big part of it. And there's a real focus on kind of contemporary UK society as well. In terms of how the course is structured, we work with AQA. There are 3 papers. They're all 2 hours each. There's no coursework. In year 12, we cover education. We cover families and households, and we do some theory and methods. In year 13, we do beliefs in society, which is essentially the sociology of religion, and we do crime and deviance as well. So a real kind of range of subjects. Students tend to really love crime and deviance, religion as well, and obviously education and families. There'll be things that will feel very familiar to us, so it's really interesting to analyse them sociologically. In terms of course requirements, a level 6 in English or a grade 6 in English, and also in a humanities subject as well. So that might be history, geography, RS, whatever it is, or sociology as well, obviously if you're studying it at GCSE, but you don't have to have studied sociology before. A willingness to work hard. Like I said, it's very much an essay-based subject, it's very much a discussion-based subject. So I really kind of expect and need people to be willing to put out ideas and discuss things and construct arguments well. And so obviously alongside that, it's really important to have a deep interest in social issues, politics as well, keeping up with the news, and alongside that, obviously, an analytical mindset really helps. So I've just got some quotes from students on the board at the moment. So obviously, normally, if you were coming around in person, I would have some students in the room with me, and they can talk to people about the course from their viewpoint. I haven't been able to have students with me because of the COVID situation, so I've asked them to send me some quotes, and luckily they match really nicely with some of the things that I've been saying. So if you look at the student's quote on the top left, about halfway down, she says, since I started studying the subject, I've become a lot more aware about people and their ideas and mindsets, as well as giving me answers to questions I've had about why people choose to do the things they do. So that works really nicely with what I was saying about having that analytical sociological mindset. Essay writing can be challenging, but overall sociology is a very fascinating subject, which is definitely worth studying. So again, yeah, obviously lots of essay writing, but also if you look at the top right, the student here says, I enjoy what we talk about, and I especially enjoy when we have debates. It may be challenging, but every subject is, and it has made me become more vocal. I'm enjoying the course a lot. So that's really nice to hear that students obviously really engage with the discussion debate side of the subject and really enjoy that. And I think the quote at the bottom from the student here is good for those of you that might be wondering about having not studied it before. You don't have to have done. So this student hasn't studied GCSE sociology before, but has found the lessons really engaging, looking at all the different perspectives and understanding the complexities of human behaviour. So some really nice quotes there. I'm just going to come back to the main page here. I'm going to send myself back up and answer any questions. So at the moment I've got 2 questions, so you're welcome to put some more in the chat if you like. At the moment it says, does it matter if you didn't take sociology at GCSE level? And the second question is saying, does studying sociology at GCSE help or hinder A level? That's quite an interesting question actually. The first question, like I sort of just said, no, you don't need to have studied sociology at GCSE level. It builds really nicely on things you might have done in history, geography, citizenship as well, if anybody does that. Those sort of humanities subjects, RS as well, definitely, and some parts of English, like I've been saying, but you don't have to have studied it. That's an interesting question about, does it help or hinder A level? I would say, if you have studied it, it helps give you more of an idea about those real kind of foundational concepts in sociology. So it might make you feel at the beginning like you're a step ahead, but very quickly, obviously A level is far more in depth, far more analytical. So if you haven't studied it, you're not at a disadvantage. But I'm not sure if it helps or hinders. It's nice to have, but you don't need it. Does RS GCSE count as a humanities subject? Yeah, I would say so. I think RS is definitely one of the main humanities. So in that case, you'd need a 6 in English and a 6 in RS as well. Does GCSE citizenship help with studying sociology at A level? Yeah, I think it helps. They come from different angles. I think citizenship is more general, but it will definitely give you an idea of some social issues that we'll talk about. And obviously, if you've done debating and things like that in citizenship, having an idea around how you construct arguments will be really useful as well. So someone's asked, what uni degrees can you apply to study for with sociology? So it works really well with those other humanities subjects. So if you were thinking of doing politics, history, English, maybe even sort of media, something like that, or if you were thinking about doing, say, law, sociology wouldn't look too bad either. But it works really well with those humanities subjects. Would sociology and psychology be a good combination, or is there too much overlap? I think they are a good combination. Psychology is more on the science side and sociology is more on the humanities side. But they've definitely got some good overlap in terms of research skills, some case studies. They might tackle some similar things from different angles. So loads of students do sociology and psychology, and I think they work well together. Is it recommended to study two social sciences, for example, sociology and politics, or do they overlap too much, too similar? So I don't know if you missed the beginning part. I also teach politics alongside Mr. Owen, who's doing the presentation on politics this evening. My degree was joint honours politics and sociology, so I think they complement each other really, really well. Yeah, so I would actually really recommend doing, you know, sociology alongside politics, history, geography, RS, English, any of those subjects I sort of mentioned. But I wouldn't be concerned about subjects being too similar. It's really nice when subjects complement each other. What kind of class sizes are there generally? Probably, I mean, for A level, probably slightly at the bigger end, probably around 20, which is actually can work quite nicely in terms of having lots of discussion, but it varies year on year. But my 13s at the moment, there's 18, and year 12s, I think there's about 25, but it's about 20 or so, I would say. Are there any trips? Oh, there's lots of questions here. I just realised we have sort of run out of time. I'll just answer this question and then, sorry, we'll have to stop. Are there any trips? This year there aren't trips happening because of COVID. We have done trips sort of ad hoc, so if there's a good conference or something like that that comes up, we can take students. I'm very happy to keep an eye out for those things. So there's nothing planned in the year, but we do keep an eye out for you know, anything that comes up in terms of conferences or things that might be interesting. Okay, sorry if I haven't got around to answering your question. We're going to have to stop there, but I hope that's been useful. You're welcome to send me an email at s.waldron@Prendergast if you have any other questions. But yeah, I'm going to have to end things here. But I hope that's been really interesting. Oh, the lights just gone. All right, thank you very much.